How's it going, everybody? Jody in here, and we're back inside Stormworks once again. Um, and I got a bit of a quandary right now, because I was sitting here all ready to start doing some train stuff. When I created this brand new save, I was getting ready to start some train stuff, and an interesting thing happened. I just had a mission pop up that said there is a sea base, an underwater research outpost experiencing mechanical failure 130 meters underwater. And I was like, that might be more interesting than the trains. But it's only it's worth 4,000, which I don't have. I'm in a sandbox mode, and I have not seen, believe it or not, I have not seen an underwater mission in Stormworks since I can't even tell you when. It's been so long. Um, so I'm kind of tempted to just back burner the train thing for now, because I did, at one point in time, make a vessel specifically for this, and I have never had the ability to use it because I've never had a mission pop up. I don't even know if the vessel still works. So you know what? That's what we're gonna do. That is what we're gonna do. We are here. Uh, the issue is over here. So let me get into my workbench here and see if I can do this. Um, if I even remember how to do this. Uh okay. So what I need is this is a two-part vessel. This vessel's huge. It's two parts. The first part is a platform. Um, it's now the question is it this platform? Because I've used and modified. When I get a good vehicle, I will reuse that vehicle and modify it into different vehicles. So this one, as you can see, it says it's a mobile service platform. Now, if I scroll a little bit here, you'll see that I also have that same vehicle. Where is it? As a mobile oil rig, um, and I have that. It's not necessarily the same vehicle. There'll be adjustments, like it'll be longer, or it'll be taller, or it'll be, you know, and then down here I have the same thing. It's a pontoon platform. Um, I don't think that's it though. And here's the same thing. Ah, multi-use sea base. That's it right there. The multi-use sea base. At least I'm pretty sure. Yes. Yes, it is. Because it has winches on both sides and it has the lift platforms. Okay. What is my warning from? Oh, it's from the jets. Okay, that's fine. Um, I just decked this sucker out, didn't I? I got friggin' missiles and everything on it. I don't think they work. I've never been able to get missiles to work. At least not proper. Uh, the things are always they're always buggy. But anyways, so this is part of the system. So we're gonna spawn this in, and then I have to move it out of the build area. This is gonna the game is gonna go, oh shit, when this. Oh, it didn't. Okay, I thought the game was gonna go, oh shit. I mean, it did slow down a tiny bit, but I thought we were gonna have a serious issue here. I'm currently running with I created this new save with the AI turned off. There's no AI. There's no missions. Well, I shouldn't say there's no missions. There's no AI missions. There's no enemies. There's no. I basically turned all that shit off. So, oh! Turn that back on. Turn that back on. On. Okay. See, I had this written down as a glitch boat. But apparently I still have reactors on it. And why are you not? Yeah, I just heard the reactors fire up. So, I have this down as a glitch boat for some reason. For those of you who have seen my videos before, you know that a glitch boat uses the flywheel glitch to basically provide unlimited power to the ship. Okay, so hopefully that is outside of the build area now. Let me shut her down here. Anchor's going down. Okay, and I need to actually... oh, this is the gantry winch. No, I don't want the gantry winch. I want the... Oh, I don't remember where anything is. Ah, platform control. Here it is. I want the platforms up. For now. Okay. The anchors are down. Platforms are up. Alright, let's head back to the workbench because we need part 2 of this build. Whee! Okay. Let us get part 2 of this build. Alright, and we're far enough away because if we weren't, it would have right there just given me an issue. Okay, so here is the deep sea base. This is part 2 of this build. We'll spawn this in. This is where the game really goes, what the fuck are you doing? Yep, okay, there's our sea base. Alright. And like I said, all of this stuff this is all older build. I haven't messed with any of this in a while, so I have come up with new techniques and stuff, new ways of doing things, probably since I have built these. So they may not be, may not exactly be perfect. Yeah, I can hear the reactor in there. I have this written down as being a glitch boat, but it's running off reactors. Yeah, here's the reactor. Oh, there's the glitch. I do have a glitch in here, but I left the reactors. Why did I leave the reactors? Wait. That's weird. Huh. Glitch generator is in here, but for some reason I still have the reactors in here as well. Oh, I remember why. This was the early days when the glitch generator didn't necessarily always work. So, okay, yeah, I left the reactors in just in case. Just in case I needed backup power. Okay, so, now, what is this? This is my... Ah, good. Okay, so that's opening the drop bay. Okay. That's what I need there. Yeah, see, for some reason I have the platform up and down over here. What is this? Oh. Oh, I also have the button over here. Yeah, that's weird that I have the button in two places, but whatever. It's all good. Alright. Oh, shit. Anchor's up. Anchor's up, anchor's up, anchor's up. Before we rip this sucker right off the floor of the ocean. Okay, so now we have to reverse. Over top of our sea base. Now, I probably don't actually need the sea base. I could probably just use the dive bell. But what the hell? That's not the point. Okay, so we gotta back her in. I'm in the middle here. And that should be close enough. Anchor's back down. Okay. Now, if I remember correctly, I have some rope here. Yeah, okay. And I need to connect... sea base to the winches. Whee! Okay, oh yeah, this is the hard part, because you can't see the damn connectors. There's one, like, it's here somewhere. There it is. Oh, I switched off the... Ah! Okay, that was my bad. That was really my bad. Because now I gotta go all the way back up again and hook that back up. Shit! That was actually the reason I put in these outer ladders, because the inner ladders go into the ship, and it's a little bit of a longer path if I have to go into the ship. Okay, so we get it up to our winch here. I should say back up to our winch here. Attach, and then back down to our connector, which is... Come on, don't do me dirty. You are great. Saw ya. Saw ya. Where are ya? You're like, oh, I had you. There you are. Okay. Whee! Physics engines right now, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Actually, the biggest problem with Stormworks is the fact that they've got the render engine running on only a single thread, which is kind of stupid, if you ask me. It's a very stupid design. But I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? That's the way they built the game. It's a multi-threaded game, but their render process, which is by far the heaviest process, they have limited to a single thread. So it's kind of like, okay, what was your game plan with that idea? That makes no sense. So that's why you see... That's why you see, like, it almost looks like my videos in or it almost looks like my game is going into, like, a slow motion. It's because the render thread is just getting chewed up. But put rope back here? I don't think I put rope back here. I think I gotta go grab it from the front. Where the hell are my lights? I should have lighting out here. I should have lighting in here. Where the hell are all my lights? Oh. Oh, there we go. There, we got a little bit of lighting out here now. Alright. Not as much as I would probably do nowadays. Nowadays, I'd probably put a lot more lighting out here. Probably a light there. Probably some light across this deck. The stand lights, maybe a light there. I definitely have more lighting. Alright, we'll attach you. And cowabunga. Whee! Alright, one more rope to go. One more rope to go. And we will be ready. And I gotta remember how to sink this thing. I'm pretty sure... Well, the pontoon boat stays on the surface, of course. But the sea base itself has a sink system. And you can see the large winches. It actually has winches that will attach to the seabed floor and pull it down. As well as, I do believe it also has a ballast control system. I do believe. If I remember correctly, it's got a ballast control system. So once we're on target, once we're actually at a location, at the sea location, this is a big setup. Once we're at the sea location, though, these come off. So the sea base is basically on its own, just floating in the water. Oops. And then the sea base basically pulls itself to the sea floor with the help of some ballast control. And of course, this thing on top here is a floater. It actually floats to the surface, providing solar power and radio communication, all that kind of good stuff to the surface. Okay, so we are almost all set. Now comes the time where, like, everything's good out there. So now what I do is I lower the platform. You see the platform going down. Once the platform is under the water, close it up. Okay. And then we raise the platform. I forget what this dial is for. For something. But I don't know what it's for. So the platform raises up. And we get a nice lift on our base. So it's not completely dangling. Okay, so our reactors right now have no steam, but they're generating power, generating 1,000 each. Steam pressure is very low. Battery power is at maximum, which I would expect. These are the fire stations over here. These are for fire control. I shouldn't say fire control. They're for hose control. They have a port and starboard, left and right. And then over here, we have fire control. Port and starboard turrets. Actually, it's kind of funny. I have port and starboard marked over here, but I have left and right marked over here. All right. So, let's get this show on the road and get to our destination. Oh, and yeah, we'll just yank our anchors right off the bottom of the off the bottom of the seafloor. That's good for our anchors, I'm sure. Are the anchors back up? Oh my gosh. I probably just screwed all my anchors. Let's see, 1, 2. Oh my. My anchors are all messed now. Okay, so where is it we gotta go? We gotta go down here. Down there. That way. And that is 16 kilometers away. Jesus. Okay. Oh, bless me, sorry. Oh, I forgot in Stormworks my... Oh, well. There goes a missile. We don't need those. We'll just fire those off. They only swim, or they only end up in the water anyways. So yeah, we'll fire those off. Okay, let's get this sucker turned to our destination and get there. I don't know if I have. Do I have? I don't think I have a gear drive unit on this thing. I think this is max speed. If this is max speed, it's going to be a while. I'm not entirely certain that that's what I'm looking for here. I'm not entirely certain that I can speed this travel up any. I don't know if a bed would do, or I'm not sure how that would work. If I set like a cruise control and I went to bed, I don't know if that would actually speed up my travel to the destination or not. Because I do have a cruise control on here that I can set. Currently I have no indicator, which is something I would have done on my more recent boats. So I'd actually have an indicator of cruise control active. Okay, we got that set. Cruise control is set. So, with the cruise control running, if I now go and take a nap, which I don't actually know if I can do, because I think I have med beds. I think I have medical beds, not actually not regular beds. Medical bed, medical bed, medical bed. You can't sleep in a medical bed. Pretty sure I got med beds on the other side too. I don't have the actual med. Oh, but I do have, well, that would be a little risky. I do have beds on the sea base. That would be pretty risky. Because the only way in the sea base is right there. And it's hanging over water. Yeah, med beds. The only way into the sea base is that door right there. And if I were to miss it, well, first of all, I couldn't do that because if I were to get into there, I would never get back out because there's no way out. There's like no platform. There's no platform there. Now, if I was building this today, with everything I know, I would have made a platform to get myself in and out of the sea base while underway. And I would have made one of those a crew quarters and not had 2 med bays. So yeah, the reactors are doing all right. They're 1,000 each. So we're 15 kilometers away. It is going to take a little while to get there. I wish I did have a way to speed that up. Oh well, we can play around with the turrets. So this is up on the shoulders. There's 2 of them. There's one on the other side over there too. You can see it there. Right there. You can see that turret right there. The camera's actually on top of that pillar. So it's the same on both sides. When you turn the water on, you can see I can spray. I can go up and down with the spray. And we can just put out any fires that we might... Oh, there's my nozzle. You can see my nozzle. Put out any fires that we might have around the boat. It works rather well. Shoots quite a distance. So we have 2 firefighting apparatus. And then on the other side, these are our port starboard gun turrets. You can see we have infrared. And these ones more track your head movement. Kind of track your head movement. I don't know that I rigged up a lot of up and down on these. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's like the maximum up. That's like the maximum up there. They don't go up very high. Which, of course, is something that I kind of need to fix on those, because if they don't go up, you can't take out helicopters and aircraft. So, what's kind of the point there? Alright, we are moving along, we are getting there. We're at 14.3. So, we're shearing off some kilometers. That's our transponder. The one thing I did do with this boat was I have a manual transponder, but it's also an automatic transponder. There is a liquid meter right here, and if the ship were to roll over, were to sink, and this were to end up underwater, the transponder would kick on. So you can actually locate this ship, even if she were to, you know, flip over and sink. Which of course it would not be an ideal situation. Alright, you know what? Well, while we're dinking around here, or while we're waiting to get to our destination, let us see. Oh shit! No! Oh man, fucked up. Yep. Get back on the boat! Get back on the boat! I was trying to go down the ladder, dang it. Okay. Yeah, this is actually what I wanted. I wanted to come and see if I can get the anchors sorted. You get back in the water. Okay, that one's good. All sorted out. Where's the middle one? Is the middle one? I'm guessing the middle one's already down because it's not laying here. And this front one is. I'm guessing it's also down because it's not laying here either. Oh, I see it there. Okay. Alright. Now the way that I should be doing this is coming back to this back platform over here. And you press this button. This is the way I should be getting up and down. Safer. Slower, safer. And this is another thing. I probably would like built railings around this or something to match the up above. So it's not just, you know, a blank platform to stand on. Probably would have made this better, this elevator better. So we'll head up here and then we'll go to the other side. We're still 13 kilometers away, so. I like how these meet though, they basically seal. Alright, on this side. And I probably would have put railings down here. Just to make it a little safer. Ladders to get out of the water. Okay, so I think this anchor's in the water. I can see that middle anchor is definitely not in the water. You, sir, need to get into the water. Thank you. And how about our front anchor? Anchor is not seen, so it must also be. It must be in the water as well. I think it's there. Although sometimes it's hard to tell because in Stormworks, not everything is as solid as it seems. If you have enough tension, if you have enough speed, you can actually fire things through other things. So there is a bit of an issue there. So my anchors could actually be inside the pontoon if they actually fire into the pontoon fast enough or hard enough, which would not be an ideal situation. These elevators can probably go a little faster. Do I have scuba gear on both sides? I do have scuba gear on both sides. Oh, that's from when I had the helipad. I didn't remove the button. That's from the other build. That's just proof that I reuse platforms that I find useful. Because on the other platform, there's a helipad right here on this section. And then there's even another one. Well, actually, on the one that has the helipad, there's a bridge midway. So the midsection here has a bridge across. And on that bridge is controls for a forward winch, a forward sea winch. So you can actually raise things up. There is no rear standing platform like there is on this one. There's just this front standing platform. And the front standing platform actually raises all the way up to this main deck. So if you pull under, say you pull under a boat that's in distress, you could actually close the thing up underneath the boat that's in distress, and you can raise that boat all the way up to this main deck. That boat that's in distress. And then of course I have anchor tie-off locations, which I don't have on this one. There's anchor tie-off oh yes I do. They're there. There's anchor tie-off locations where you can tie off the boat that's in distress, so it you know, doesn't fall off. Oh, here's the firefighting apparatus. Basically how it works is the camera's up here, the camera rotates on its pillar. Like the whole system doesn't rotate. The camera rotates on its pillar, and the cannon rotates on its base. So there's two different things here that rotate. And if I turn it a little bit, you can see that. I'll just rotate it a little bit. Rotate it just a little bit. Hopefully I didn't rotate it 90 degrees exactly. Yeah, there you go. So you can see the camera itself has rotated on its base, and the turret has followed the rotation. So they're both looking the same direction. They're both looking off the same direction. I could have made the whole system rotate, but that would have been a little more complex, because I would have had to feed the water through the rotation instead of just using the what do you call it, the cannon, because the cannon's already got a built-in rotation. So I would have been like doubling up the rotation on the cannon, or I would have been making the cannon rotation non-functional just to add its own rotation underneath. So it would have been a more complicated system. Well, not more complicated, but it would have been unnecessary. And I'm really trying to remember how this sea base works. I know there's a control station, and that control station is right in here. But I totally don't remember how that works. Oh, yeah, there's a panel. The panel's going to have the ballast. It'll have ballast controls. It'll have the anchor controls, the winch controls. There's the beds. It is a sea base, as specified. So there are plenty of beds, plenty of support systems. Shit. There is one thing I didn't think of, though. I think since I built this, they came out with pressurized air since I built this. Shit. There's the medical room. Some equipment there, and then in front there's the equipment room. And the ballast tanks are on the end. There's a ballast tank here. In fact, that whole end is a ballast tank. And then same thing over here. So you can see the wall. There's the wall on the inside. This whole end over here is a ballast tank. So it floods. This part here separates and actually floats. These are weighted balances, so the floater stays upright. see on top of the floater there's a rotating camera as well as an antenna. There are some meters, there's survey equipment, there's some solar cells, you see solar panels, there's lighting. So yeah, this system is designed basically to provide support to the sea base, which the sea base can function on its own on the seabed without any surface support. I kind of got this whole idea to build this from The Abyss, the movie The Abyss, which growing up was a favorite movie of mine growing up. Get back on course here. 10 kilometers out, so we're moving pretty good. I really wish I would have had a high-speed adjustment on this boat. A lot of the boats I build now have a low gear and a high gear, and this boat does not seem to have the high gear option. Kind of sucks that you can't get on the ladder on the top with the falling. Holy crap. Okay. I got it. Okay. I do want to check down here. I don't want to leave that open though because I think water can't get in here. Okay, there's the battery, there's the reactor. I don't believe I put a low-high in here. Low-high gear in. Pretty sure we're just straight up. Yeah, we're just straight up motor to. See, normally I'd have a gearbox here, and I'd have another one. I'd have another gearbox on there, and those gearboxes would be for switching to high gear. Basically increasing the rotation speed. There's the firefighting system. It sucks the water in. Two different locations. It sucks the water in, pumps it up, and it pumps it. It actually pumps it up through the legs of the stilts. I also noticed I don't have a ballast system down here, so any flooding that happens, there's no way to get rid of it. Which is another thing. All my newest builds have ballast systems, so they can pump out any floodwaters. So I got some work to do on this thing. And like I said, we now have pressurized gases, and I don't have a pressurized gas system for this base. I have no gas vents, nothing. So I'm kind of wondering if it's even going to work. I hope it does. I wouldn't want to travel all this way and not actually have it work. But we'll have to see. Because I built it before that came out. I built it before they had gases and hydrogen, oxygen, pressurized systems. Oh, there you can see the inside. We've got beds. Each bed has its own little locker, kinda. And you got dining tables and whatnot. This room over here is your communication room, as well as your basically all your antenna features. We have a battery in between, a little battery bank, and this is the control room. You see the control room's got a bunch of gauges in it, depth gauges, whatnot, and camera controls. You see the camera controls on the wall there. It's got a console. And then we have well, there's our pump system for pumping out the ballast from, I don't think we can see inside this little, can't see inside this little spot right here, unfortunately. Oh, there you go. That's our, that's the airlock. The airlock, of course, has scuba gear in it. But it has a drainage system that can drain out the water. And in front of that, we have our med bay. This is our med bay, which has some, medical beds in it. And in front of that, we have our equipment room, which has some more scuba gear. We have equipment like torches, repair spear guns, and then, of course, we're in our ballast tank now. This is our ballast tank. The ballast tank actually runs under the whole thing. This is also a ballast tank that goes under the whole thing. But this is connected to here. You can see it's open. And this is the end piece that has the ballast tank. And then our anchors for grabbing onto the seabed, pulling us down. See, we have lighting underneath. There's the camera. There's the bottom camera. That's the belly camera. That's the belly camera that's controlled from the wall over here. So you can look around and see what's going on. You actually get this kind of a view where you can look around like this, see what's going on the seafloor. So it's actually, it's a nice little base. I just hope it works. I hope it still works. And of course we have our dive bell, but the dive bell only goes down. You can see the difference in the winches. The dive bell goes down to 100 meters. Because it's got 100-meter winches. Actually, if you include the depth here, or the length to the water, it doesn't go down 100 meters. It goes down less than 100 meters. Oh, I can look at all my anchors. No, I am missing an anchor. I'm missing this front right anchor. Where are you? Up, see? It's inside. That anchor got jammed inside, like I was saying. So I'm running on 5 anchors, which is still okay. I only really need 4 to keep me stable. And these anchors run on winches that are in the legs. You can see them there. But I think the anchors for the, I think these anchors are only on 100 meter as well. I'm pretty sure they're 100 meter. These are only 100 meter winches inside here. So the winches here for the sea base are a lot, and up here, the winches, the big winches, I believe they are, I want to say, are they 1,000? They might be 1,000. Oh, you can see there's a keep alive block right there. So this stays alive. And there should be a keep alive block somewhere on this as well, somewhere. Not exactly sure where. Oh, there's the one winch there, one winch there. Those are the winches that are attached to this top section, which is currently, tilted a little bit. So the sea base can go down 1,000. It can be lower down 1,000. It can grab the sea floor at 1,000 feet, 1,000 meters, whatever the hell 1,000 is. And it has 1,000 on the winch here to get her back to the surface. Oh, that's what that is. That thing on the pole there. I just remember what that is. That thing that's on the pole there. You can see it right there. That kind of circular silver thing on the camera pole, the camera that's rotating. That circular thing is a liquid meter, and it detects how deep the tower is, and it uses that measurement to determine whether or not it's on the surface or not. If it's not on the surface, it lets out more winch. If it is on the surface, it monitors the winch. And if it's above the surface, like it is right now, the winch is in. So it makes sure that the buoys, or the whatever you want to call this, the surface floater, to make sure the surface floater is always on the surface. That's a heavy son of a gun. Look at the weight it's putting on the platform. You can see the platform's just kind of bent down. Sea base is a heavy son of a gun. Okay, we're getting there. 7.1. I love how the those ones and these ones. So when you steer on this thing has an absolutely horrible turning steering. Even though it steers with the jets, the turning radius on it is absolutely atrocious because it's so big. But what I've done is I've got a set of turbines here, back here on both sides, and they function to turn the vessel. I can also side slip with them using the left and right keys. I can fire them up and actually move the boat sideways. So if I pull up to a dock, I can actually pull myself into the dock using the port and starboard thrusters. Which I believe this is the first boat that I did that on. This is the first boat I ever used port and starboard thrusters. And there you can see my rudder at the bottom, which, I mean, smooth movement, but they don't do a damn thing. They are so slow. If I didn't have these on the front and on the back, this thing would take a mile probably to turn a corner. But we're getting there. We're getting to our destination. We are 6 kilometers out, and I promise I'm going to do a train video because I've been messing around with a lot of the train stuff lately, specifically for cargo movements, cargo shipments. I've been doing some remote controlling, so I can have like additional quote-unquote engines. And I also find out an issue. Actually, there's issue with the glitch generator between saving and loading. And if you're one of the subscribers to my glitch generator, I have updated it and added a fix to that problem. Which, you know, I wouldn't expect. You're exploiting a glitch in the game, basically, to get the flywheel up to a ridiculous, what could be infinite speed. So, although my generator, I know there's several glitch generators on the workshop, but my generator actually has a limiter to keep it from going into ridiculously stupid speed territory. I think it only goes up to like 1,000,005 or something like that revolutions per minute, and then it brings itself back down again, or lets itself come back down again. So it goes up to like 1,000,005, and then it'll drop down to 1,000,000. Then it'll go back up to 1,000,005, and then drop down to 1,000,000. Whereas some of these glitch generators out there that people have built, they go into the billions and billions and billions, or even up to trillions of revolutions per minute. And I'm like, you don't need that. You don't need that. In fact, you don't even need millions. You need, like, if you want to power a build infinitely, all you really need is a couple 100,000, and you can build anything, and it'll run off of it. So you only need a couple 100,000. But I found it was really hard to control it at a couple 100,000 because it would slow down too fast. It would speed up, slow down, speed up, slow down, and when it slowed down, it would slow down to like into the hundreds. So I was like, okay, I'll just let it. I just picked a round number. I was like, 1,000,000. I'll have it cut off at 1,000,000, and that way, it actually cuts off at 1.5 because, you know, the glitch just gets it going that fast. By the time it actually computes that, hey, I need to shut down, it's at 1,500,000. So yeah, but there is an issue with the because it is, like I said, it is a glitch that you're kind of exploiting to get that infinite speed. You're pulsing the clutch basically to get the flywheel up to that speed. And what happens is when you do a save or a load, sometimes that goes awry, and what'll happen is your flywheel will actually spool down, and your clutches will start to engage at the wrong time. And what ends up happening is your motor pulses, your clutch doesn't engage, and then your motor stops its pulse, and then your clutch engages. And what happens is your flywheel ends up powering down then, and your generator can't get the power back up. It can't get the rotation back up. So what happens is if you look at your glitch generator, you'll notice it's stuck at like 100 RPM or 100 RPS or like 80 RPS or something like that. And it's not, at that point, generating enough power to keep itself running or to keep itself charged. So your generator starts losing its internal power. It starts going down, and of course, when it starts going down, then there's less power to power the motors, and the motors don't power at the proper speed. So your RPS drops even further, and the battery drops even further, and then you're in a death spiral basically with your generator. So what I did on the new build was, oh, and by the way, if your generator power gets below 80%, like the internal power in the generator, if it gets down below 80%, what happens is it doesn't have enough power to start itself back up again from a shutdown position. So if you can catch it before it hits that 80%, like if you load your game and instantly check your generator and see that your generator's screwed up, and then, so you can shut it down at that point. You just turn it off, and then like, okay, wait until it, spirals down. Wait until it goes to zero, and fire it back up again. And it'll run fine again. Basically, like doing a reboot almost on it. But what happens is if it gets down below 80%, it won't have the power to fire itself back up again. It won't have the power to get the flywheel into that glitch state. So what you have to do at that point, oh, we're getting deep here, nice. So what you have to do at that point is, come on, brain. Yeah. So what you have to do at that point is you have to basically boost start it like you would boost start a car. So I recently updated my glitch generator to include a jumper port where you can hook up an electric cable to it. So you can either use, you can either have a spare battery sitting beside your glitch generator in your build, or like in my case, I've got a reactor in here, so I might just use the reactor power and just hook up the. See, this is the old style glitch generator. It still has the battery charger here, which the charger actually does nothing. The new design has this generator down here fills up the battery for the for the. I call this a power box. I call this whole unit I call the power box. So this generator down here powers the internal battery, which is this battery here, for the power box. And then I have another generator over here, and that's the generator you actually hook up to your build. So you're not taking power from the actual power box, you're taking power from the generator that's on the power box, or an additional generator on the power box. So what you have to do is, when it glitches out, what you have to do is you have to flip this the breaker there. You can see the yellow and black breaker there on top of the gauge. You flip that off, wait until the flywheel drops down to nothing, and then you flip that breaker back on, and that basically performs a reset. And once that reset is complete, your generator just starts back up. But like I said, if you don't have the power, then I have a jumper port that I added. It's actually on the back side. There's a jumper port, so you can like plug in power from, say like these generators back here. You can see these generators back here. So you'd have like a power plug off bit, and you'd connect it up to that jumper port, and that would give that would charge the battery enough that you can fire the glitch generator back up again. So that's if we got time here after this mission, I'll show that. I'll just show that glitch generator off, and maybe show it. I might load a save to see if I can catch one of the generators in a shutdown state, so I can display the glitch of the glitch. the glitch of the glitch. I guess that's what I'm calling it now. The glitch of the glitch generator. We're almost there. We're almost on target. I really hope that this is a deep location. We're at almost 200. We're at almost 200 meters. I'm guessing this is meters. I don't know. 200 units. I'm gonna call it units, because I don't know what any of these are. You got the boiler temperature. I'm pretty sure that's in Celsius, because the boiling point is at 100, so I'm pretty sure it's in Celsius. Steam pressure, I'm guessing that's PSI. And then power generator, I don't even know what that is. I just call them units. We're creating over 1,000 units of power. It could be watts, could be kilowatts, could be, I don't even know. Could be anything. That could just be the rotational speed of the generator, and that's all it calculates. And then depth, like I said, this could be meters. This could be, I'm guessing it's meters, because the ropes are in, or the winches are in meters. So I'm guessing the depth measurement is also in meters. So that'd be 186 meters, not feet. Or fathoms, or, you know, that would I'm guessing that would be in meters. So we're 2.8 kilometers out, so let's see if we can get a better waypoint on our... See, because it's like search the area and locate an underwater research outpost. An underwater research outpost. Search the area. It's 130 meters underwater. So it says search the area. That's easier said than done. This is a large area, man. That's a huge area. The sea base is somewhere in this area. But we are actually in the search area now, I believe. Are we in the search area? We're in the search area now. So, I don't know if we're going to have any kind of indicator to tell us where the base is. Or whether I should just start doing some reconnaissance with the dive bell, maybe. That could be Because it's at 100 and... What did it say? 100 and... What depth did it say? It's at 130 meters? So we're still too deep here. The sea base is going to be on the sea floor, I would assume. So we're too deep for 130 meters. So let's keep heading towards... It's going to be closer to one of these islands, because that's probably where the depth comes up, is at these islands. So we'll get to a location where it's about 130-ish meters. We're still climbing on both sides here. But we are kind of headed towards an island. So it should start coming back up. And we haven't reached our waypoint yet. We're still 2 kilometers away from the center of the zone, the center of the search area. So that's gonna be what we're gonna use. We're gonna use the 130 meters as our search area. So once we get down to 130 meters, that's where we will begin our search. Right now it's way too deep, so it's not going to be here. I could have brought a submarine. I do actually have a submarine. But the submarine's in worse condition than the sea base. The submarine doesn't have any kind of onboard air system at all. At all. I mean, I guess now you can actually make oxygen. You can make oxygen from the seawater, because we have, I believe we have like electrolysis systems now. In the game. I've never messed with them. I never played with them. I don't even know if they're like something that's needed or something that's used or useful, or might be worth a video just to check it out. We are still at 187, 186, and you are down at 130. So. This area's got to shallow up quite a bit for us to begin our search. But I mean, we'll keep going towards the waypoint here. And we will check it. We'll check at about 130. We can find areas that have 130. I'm going to say they're closer to the islands. We got an island there. We have some islands over there. There's an island over there. So I'm going to say the 130 regions are going to be closer to the islands. There's even this section here. I mean, there's marked areas here as well. There's like the ruins here, which, you know, that would be a logical place for it to be, would be at the ruins. There's this island out here, so it could be somewhere on that island there. And then, like, there's these islands here. It could be around these islands here. It could be around this island here. Anywhere where it's a little shallower. I wish we had depth measurements on this screen, but we don't. I mean, realistically, if we've somewhat mapped the seafloor of our own planet, you know, so I don't see why we're kind of left with, we have no depth readings at all on this overhead map. Still at 180. We're starting to get into night again. They're getting close to this waypoint. And it didn't say anything about transponders. Oh, I have the underlights. Didn't say anything about transponders. So I can't do a transponder search. The sea base probably doesn't have a transponder of any kind. We're still at 180 meters. Oh, now we're starting to come up. We're starting to come up. A little bit more on the starboard than on the port. So we can tell the shape of the landscape underneath the water by our gauges here. Oh, and we're going deep again. But still, our port side is deeper than our starboard side. So maybe we want to turn a little bit to starboard. That's kind of why I have the two separate readings, so I can see the difference. The boat is this boat is pretty wide. So I have one reading off the pontoon over here, one reading off the pontoon over here, so I can kind of see the shape of the seabed underneath, which also helps in placing the sea base, because I can tell if it's going to go down on a kind of cockeyed and land on the sea floor. I can tell if the sea floor is, you know, like if this said 179 and it said 176, I know if I put the repair sensor module on underwater base. Where's the underwater base? Because I still don't have it marked. I must be getting close though, because why else would it? Okay, you know what? Let's shut her down right here. I mean, we're in the center of the zone, and it popped up and said repair the sensor module on the sea base. But it says 130 meters. We're still at 180. So I'm not sure what's going on here. Maybe it might have just triggered because I hit the center of the zone. But I'm gonna take the dive bell down, and we'll see what's going on. It only goes to about 100. Well, it only goes, I would say maybe 90 something meters. But it's got a good set of windows, so we should be able to see a lot of stuff here. Oh, that's from an earlier build. The moon pool doors. I don't have a moon pool here. All right, winch down. And we're gonna want our lights on. I didn't put a light inside here. That's kind of sad. And I didn't put a gauge just so I can see how deep I am. Okay. There are definite upgrades that need done to this build. One would be, like I said, I need a depth gauge on here so I can tell when I'm actually... So right now I can't tell... I'm holding the button, but I can't tell if I'm still going down or not. Like, I can't actually see... I have no visual reference to say whether I'm still going down or whether I've hit the end of the winch rope. I can't see the boat, I can't see anything. So we'll just hold it for a little longer, I guess, and see if See, because I'm not spotting anything here. And again, like I said, don't even know if I'm going down or not. Oh, wait a minute. I just passed the thermal layer. Okay, we're still going down. But I don't see anything. So again, I'm left wondering, are we still going down? We were still going down. But I don't know if we're still going down now. And I don't see any kind of... Oh, wait, what's that? Was that a fish? That looks like a fish. Okay, if that's a fish, and using that as reference, we are no longer going down. We're definitely no longer going down, so we've hit the bottom. And I am not seeing any signs of any kind of sea base or anything here. I do think that's a fish, though. Some kind of fish. Is it a shark? Be a shark. Definitely some kind of fish. But there's nothing... Oh, there's some more. Not seeing any signs of any kind of sea base or anything. Oh, those are just water... Those are water bubbles, those guys. I don't know where that fish went. Alright. Inch up. Did we... I wonder if we went very far past that water layer. Or that thermal layer. She did see the water change. There was a visual change to the water. It went from like a gray to a blue. Unless that was like nighttime to daytime or something. Well, we'll soon find out because we're going up again. Oh, there's that layer. Okay, so it is a thermal layer. It is a thermal layer in the water. On more recent versions of this build, like I said, this platform was built specifically for the sea base, which I haven't worked on in a very long time. But on newer versions of this build, this dive bell actually has a depth thing that it's got a light on the inside that you can toggle on and off. I do believe I also increased the winches, so the winches are using the 1,000-meter winches instead of the 100-meter winches. Oh, there's the boat. There's the boat. We're coming up on the boat. Must be, is it daytime or is that just my lights? That's just my lights. And we are out of the water. And we are back in our little stow area. Turn the lights off. Open our little door. And you do notice I do have drains, and the drains can be turned on and off. So you can actually get out of if you have scuba gear on, which that's why there's scuba gear here. If you have scuba gear on, you can actually get out of the dive bell underwater and pump it empty. But it does not look like Our target is at this location, so let us look for where it might be. I'm thinking closer to the island. I'm going to turn towards the volcanic island here. Just so we can start getting the depth meter to change. Because we're looking for 130 meters. I'm guessing the sea base is going to be on the sea floor. I mean, that would be the smart. That'd be the smart money. Because I mean, my sea base is also on the sea floor, or also goes to the sea floor. So. But it would be nice if I had some kind of indicator on the surface. Like my sea base has a floater, so it's quite obvious that, you know, the sea base is there, but that there is a sea base underneath, you know, at that location. Our depth is coming down pretty quick now. As we approach the island here. I am almost thinking it's going to be, you know, maybe at these ruins. Almost thinking that it might be at the ruins, but there's no depth reading on these ruins. So I don't honestly know if that would be where they would be or not. But this looks like it's probably the closest to the center, and we're at 138 now. This would probably be here. This would probably be the closest spot to the center of the area at 130 meters. Oh, don't drop those. Don't drop the anchors. Okay, but we will slam on the brakes here. And we'll take our dive bell down. Oh, now we're at 120. Holy crap. That changed quick. Let's go right here. My anchors aren't going to reach the bottom, so I'm not even going to bother putting them down. But this should be this should be the closest to the center of the search area at that depth. So we'll go from here. Turn on our exterior lights. We'll search here first. If it's not here, then we'll head towards those ruins. And again, I really wish I had a depth gauge on this thing, because as soon as the light is away from, you know, surface objects, you can't tell if you're still going up or down. Only a depth gauge would be able to tell you that. And boat fade to black. Oh, what the hell is... Oh, that's... What the hell is that? Oh, it's the window. That's funny. What the hell is that? That's the window bar. Oh, we're still going down. See the boat. I could see the boat a little bit still there. And it looks like maybe daylight's starting, which would make the surface a little easier to see. I should technically be looking down though. See if I could spot anything coming up below. The good thing about the spotlights is they do see. The spotlights will give us a view that's quite a good distance out because they are so bright. So if there is something in the vicinity, we should spot it. Another thing that would kind of be useful would be having sonar. We would ping off of something. There's that layer. There's that thermal layer. So we're getting close to the bottom of our rope length because that thermal layer, we didn't get very far past that thermal layer. And I am not seeing anything at all. Might just barely see the seabed. That kind of looks like the seabed. Oh, wait, are we? Oh, we're coming. Are we coming up on the seabed? Oh, we landed. We hit bottom. Okay. Well, we are on the bottom, and there is nothing here. Absolutely nothing here. But we are on bottom. And it is a very gnarly bottom. It's look at the angle we're at. We have hit the sea floor, and there is absolutely nothing to see here. So, back up we go. I'm thinking we should plot a course to those ruins. That should be our should probably be our next search location. Because I don't think they're just gonna have a sea base just out in the middle of nowhere for no specific reason. So it's probably gonna be at a landmark. So now I wonder if, just what thoughts while I'm going up here, with the electrolysis system, I wonder if there are specific hydrogen and oxygen outputs on it. Because otherwise, how would you filter the gas that's coming out? So I'm wondering if they have specific ports for hydrogen and oxygen. Because hydrogen you can just pump back out into the water. Hey, there's a fishy. Hi, fishy. Hydrogen you can just pump back out into the water, and then the oxygen, of course, you pump into the base, bell chamber, whatever, wherever you're pumping it. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to make some adjustments to my sea base because I'm guessing now that I'm gonna need oxygen, especially in a survival mode. This is a sandbox mode that I'm currently playing in. It is not the survival mode. I do have a survival mode game, which I am very interested in continuing, and hopefully will be eventually making my way up to stuff like this in that game. Right now I have enough money for, you know, a decent sized train to transport cargo containers, which is that's actually fairly good money. Um, and also, um, check this out. I can rotate on the spot very slowly. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I have a fishing boat, which I can do quite a bit of fishing with. Um, so that's a thing. It's only 1.4 kilometers away. It's not actually that far. So I have a fishing boat, which I could do quite a bit with, and I also have, like I said, I have a train that I can do a lot of cargo missions with. And I'm actually pretty proud of my cargo hauler, or my cargo, I don't know what to call it, cargo carrier, forklift, cargo forklift, I guess. I have gone through so many designs for cargo forklifts. Maybe I'll showcase that in a video, because there's two things that you have to keep in mind with cargo containers, or with cargo transporting. Number one, you have to have a way to get the cargo container to the train. So that's number one. And number two, you have to have a way to get the cargo container from the train. So not only do you need your loading vehicle to be at the source where you're picking up your cargo, you also need it to be at the destination where you're dropping off your cargo. And I've seen a lot of cargo container builds where it's like, yeah, this is a forklift, this is a cargo forklift, and they're huge machines to get the job done. And in my mind, I'm sitting there, and I'm not saying I'm the only one that's come up with this thought, but in my mind, I'm going, okay, well, you need that you need that to load your train, yeah, but you also need something at the destination. You're going to need that vehicle at the destination once you get there to take your cargo back off the train. So unless you're going to buy that location and spawn a second one in there, which to me is kind of a waste of money, you're going to need to take that vehicle with you. So I came up with a few designs, and they all have, they all have their upsides and downsides. But I actually think I finally hit about as close to perfection as I can get, or as I'm gonna get, with a cargo container vehicle. And I hate to say that because I really like expanding, that kind of stuff. But I made a container vehicle. Anybody who knows cargo containers, they're big. They're very big. And anybody who knows about the container vehicles, or the vehicles you need to move those containers around, they also have to be kind of big, and they have to be heavy. Because you're talking 1,000 kilograms or whatever. It's gonna take any normal boat or normal, not boat, normal vehicle, and it's gonna pull it over. It's gonna pull it, like, the second you grab onto it and try to lift it, it's gonna pull you right upside down. Okay, so these ruins, I'm not liking these numbers, because I'm coming up on these ruins. Wait a minute. I'm seeing light underneath the water. I'm seeing light under the water, which doesn't make sense, because this is nowhere near 130 meters. I'm gonna head to that light though. Let's get rid of our waypoint. Let's see if we can park our asses above that light. This is nowhere near 130 meters. We're at 79. We're at 79, maybe 80. I don't think it's going to drop significantly before we get to that location. It is kind of interesting that you can see it, though. They must have, like, spotlights pointed straight up. Oh, here, okay, we're getting deeper now. We're getting deeper, okay. Yeah, they gotta have spotlights pointed straight up, because when you're underwater, you can't see it. You can only see it when you're above water. They better not have copied my sea base, because that kind of looks like my sea base. I'm seeing a long tube. Rescue 2 casualties to a hospital. Are you serious? We got casualties down there? Son of a bitch. That's gonna make it difficult. I think that's probably about as close as I want to get. What's the depth here? It's only 100 meters. That's not 130. That's only 100 meters. Why would it say 130 meters? Well, okay, maybe it's getting a little deeper here. Okay, so I don't know if my anchors are going to work here. But let's give it a shot anyway. No, that's the one anchor that's fucked up. That's the one anchor that's in the boat. The other anchors are still going down. So we will anchor down here. And I actually might be over top of the sea base now. Let's reverse a little bit. Which is fine, my anchors will settle back. Anchors will settle back down before too long. Okay. So this should be good. That's my speed. Bring it down. Bring it down. Okay, we should be good here. Alright. Time to reset our stuff here. Platform goes down. Open it up. Bring it up. We don't need our platform to stay down. Okay. Bring our winches down. Holy! Okay, we're floating. Now I gotta undo these guys. The reason the boat has anchors is because the boat and the sea base are two independent systems. So the last thing you want is for your boat to be locked to your sea base. So once the sea base is actually in position, the boat can leave. The boat's no longer needed. Kind of like, again, kind of like the Abyss. You know, if there's bad weather on the surface, the boat could leave, and the sea base would be fine on its own. So we're going to. Basically, that's the point we're at. We're going to be abandoning the boat, and taking the sea base from here on. Ugh. Hate that. That's so annoying. So, with our sea base in the water, we'll open our hatch here. We'll get in here. Close it up. You see the indicator light is red. That means there is water in here. You see the fluid draining. You see the liquid. Liquid meter is showing that the liquid is being pumped out. Even though you can't see it, there's over 100 liters of seawater in this room. So, we just wait patiently for it to all be pumped out. Unfortunately, if I remember correctly, on the sea floor, there was a problem with this because the pressure on the sea floor is too high for it to pump it out. If I remember correctly, that was a problem I was having. With the new electrolysis system, with the new gas system, what would happen is as you're pumping out the fluid, you would pump in oxygen. So you would have a pressure building in the room as the pressure's being released from the liquid. I don't even have filters on these, I don't believe. So I don't think I have liquid filters attached to these to actually show that they can only pull liquid. So yeah, this sea base definitely needs an overhaul, but I think it'll serve our purpose for this mission. But it does need an overhaul, and that's good because oh, see, we got our indicator light, even though it still shows there's 7 liters of water in here, but it's enough that our indicator's gone green. So we're all good. Okay, so what I want to do, our current depth, our float depth, we have our current depth and our float depth. What I want to do is we want to drop our, let's see if I remember how to do this. I want to go anchors out. I thought I had a seat here because you can't see a damn thing. You don't have the seat. I want our anchor magnets turned on. Yeah, I hear them moving. I think if I go sit in this chair, I can see them go down. Okay, I can see them going down. So those are all going down. And they will of course grab the floor, grab the sea floor. Which is way the hell down. So far down I can't even see it. Oh, I can kind of see the daylight here. I can kind of see what's going on down there in the daylight. Kinda. Oh, it's even better there. It's even better when I press the button and to go in and out. Oh, look at that! Look at all the ruins. I don't see a sea base, but I see ruins. Oh my gosh. So those anchors, I believe, will stop when they hit the seafloor. Oh, wait a minute. No, they're still going. Oh yeah, you can use the camera. Is that the sea base? Wait, what? Up, down, left, right. There's no zoom option. So, I think that's the sea base right there. I can't tell if my winches have struck the bottom yet though. Oh, anchor lock status. There we go. So that should light up when I have a grip. I would think. Well, I've got nothing yet. Can't tell me those haven't hit the bottom. Yeah, look at the cables. The cables are all slack. Those have definitely hit the bottom. Okay, so ballast tank control. Okay, let's flood our ballast tanks. Let's see our ballast tanks flooding. Okay. And let's put ourselves down. These cables should go taut. They should go tight. Yeah, look at the friggin' anchor cables are just like. So it's not showing my anchor status is connected, but it is. They're definitely connected to the seafloor. Should have a zoom on this thing. Yeah, you can see the anchor cables are just like, oh, they're coming tight. Okay, here we go. She's got a grip now. Oh, but it's pulling us down one direction. Why is only one side pulling? Why is only one side pulling? This is not how this is supposed to be going down. Why do we only have one side pulling us down? Oh, because the seafloor is... Okay, we don't have one side pulling us down. The seafloor is just fucked. This is the angle that we're gonna actually land on the seafloor. That's nasty. That's nasty as hell. I think I'll reset our magnets once we're down. Yeah, yeah, we are coming down on a real shitty location. As far as the angle of the seafloor is concerned. But there's the other sea, there's the sea base that we need to get to. Coming down almost, we're on like a hill, almost. Your anchors, why are you not pulling us into the seafloor? Those tanks are still filling. Why is my float not on the surface? Oh wait, my float is on the surface. No, it isn't. Why is my float not on the surface? Oh shit. Ha! I have to let it out. I forgot about that. I forgot I had to let the float out. Yeah, there it goes. Okay. The float will slowly make its way back to the surface now. I forgot I had to let it out. I can actually see the float going up. There it is. Shouldn't take it too long to get there. See the surface. Hopefully the float's not coming up like under one of the pontoons or something. It looks like it's going straight up the middle. I hear the winches just going. My electric drops very, very slowly. Well, like the winches and all that are running. Once this is on, once this floater's on the surface, and the winches shut down. Proof. We are on the surface. There you go. Yeah, we're charging. So while the winch is on the surface, or while the floater's on the surface, we get a good charge down here. Now we got a mission to accomplish here. Not entirely sure why we haven't settled down yet. Ballast tanks are still filling. Ah, the external lights. I forgot about those two. Yeah. So our anchors are down for the ship anchors. So that's good. And our... Let's see the other sea bases over there. But yeah, we're down on kind of a shitty angle. That's okay. Ballast tanks are still flooding. Yeah, I'm gonna shut off the ballast tanks. They'll we'll just go with the sea anchors because I don't think the ballast tanks are gonna help at all here. All right, throw on our scuba gear. Oh, we get. Oh, our inventory's full. All right, and out we go. Oh, it sucked me back in. You fucker. It sucked me back in. How dare you? Well, let me out. Bastard! Suck me back in again. Gotta let it equalize, I guess. I hate that because it takes a hell of a lot longer. It's a hell of a lot longer for this thing to drain. Let me out. Okay, let's head over to the sea base. Yeah, I'm surprised these winches stopped so early. These things should pull me right into the ground. So here's our sea base. And Houston, I think we have a problem. Houston, we most definitely have a problem. I don't think they have an airlock. So, we got one there. I got one there and I got one there. Neither of them have scuba gear on. Neither of them have scuba gear on. And I don't think... this thing is pressurized. I can't open their docking hatch. Shit. I need an actual docking hatch to get onto the station. And I don't have one. They don't have any kind of airlock. At least I don't think. Oh! Oh, they did. They have a moon pool. Okay. They have a moon pool underneath. That's fine. I'm good with that. Okay. We're not going to flood their moon pool. Buddy, okay, you are going to need scuba gear. Actually, I'm supposed to fix your communication antenna, aren't I? So let me grab this welding torch. Because there was a thing that said communication antenna. So, is this what's broken? Nope. What's broken, dude? Oh. There's a radio antenna over there. No, that's the wrong one there. So, I'm not even seeing a mission here anymore. Oh wait, yes I am. Rescue 2 casualties to a hospital. Okay. So there's no repair work here. It's just rescue them to the hospital. I am good with that. I am fine with that. Okay. So you're gonna need some scuba gear, my dude. How do I put scuba gear on you? Well, I guess I'm just gonna pick you up and carry you back to base. I don't know. I feel like that's not gonna go well. I feel like it's not gonna go well if you're not wearing scuba gear, bud. Well, I mean, here we go. Hold your breath, dude. Hope you got some frickin' wind in you. Hope you can really hold your breath, because we got a little ways to go here. Good news, I do have medical beds. I don't think we're going to wait for this chamber to decompress either. I think we're just going to get them right in. Oh, it almost is decompressed. Good. Close. Okay. You okay there, buddy? Oh, shit. Don't do that. You okay there, buddy? Oh, you're hurting. You're hurting, but you're still alive. Okay. How's our... You're hurting, but you're alive. That's all that kind of matters, really. Now... Oh, that's cool. Picking up 2 players. You can probably stand up now. There we go. Just pumping out that water pretty darn quick. Fluid capacity of roughly about 5,000, and we're down to 800, and it's dropping. Like I said, I think what I'm gonna have to do is put like an air supply or an air generator, so the air can actually help push out the water. Yeah, I think we're low enough now. I'm not gonna worry about it. Okay, buddy, let's go. I gotta get you. Oh, I gotta get you to med bay. We are. We find in one of these med beds. Go rescue your. Go rescue your partner. Those ballast tanks are emptying too. Pretty good. All right. Yeah, we're scuba gear again. Head back out. Hey, no. Dang it. Let me out. Let me out. Damn it. Oh, there's no winning. You cannot win against that water pressure. That didn't used to be a thing. Now it is. Alright. Let's go. Oh my god. There's still water pressure because the pumps are pumping it out. Alright. We're clear. Let's get back for our second guy. Hopefully he'll make it too. It'd be nice if our base was a little bit closer to this one. There are ways I could make that happen. But I don't think we're going to be here long enough to worry about it. So in order to do this, it looks like they just built the robotic door hinge around the... They built a robotic door hinge around the bottom, but there's no door in it. They just built the panel edge. That's kind of interesting. Hey, where's our other guy? Oh shit, he's incapacitated. Motherfucker. You were not incapacitated a minute ago. I gotta get you back to base. Or I gotta get you into a medbed. Like, fast. "7 minutes incapacitated, and now he's technically drowning." I've got to get you into a medbed. And as quick as possible. We ain't got time to wait. Okay. We got two alive. Two alive. I still got all my scuba gear, which I'm just gonna dump on the floor here because can't put it away yet. Okay. Time to get back to the surface. How's our ballast tanks looking? Still got 5 grand in each. Well. We're going up. Let's bring back our float. So our sea base is going to rise back up to the surface. Our float is coming down to meet us. Everything should be going out at the same rate. These winches should be going out at the same rate that the top winches are coming down. So you can see the slack in the lines here. So the float should never leave the surface. It should stay on the surface. I put so many lights on the sea base. That's awesome. We are headed up, and it is nighttime. It is nighttime, and I am hoping that we are going to come up under the middle of the pontoons. It looks like that's where the floater is. It looks like the floater's still in the middle of the pontoons, with the anchors and everything in place. It shouldn't have moved. Nothing should have moved, so we should be okay here. Should hopefully be coming up right under the middle. Oh, we're a little off. We're a little off center. That's fine. So before we hit the boat, we'll stop our anchors. Let's go. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out! You prick. Let me out. Okay. Oh, that landed. That landed messy. I guess it didn't really land. But it's kind of messy. Alright. That thing's still floating? Or is it? No, it's all the way up. That did not land at all proper. That is cockeyed as fuck. I think it's because of where there was slack in the line as we were coming up. That's why it didn't land proper. Alright. Should probably fix that. Loads. Pull myself down a little bit. So that lets the floats back out. Okay, so now bring the floats in. Should hopefully come in under tension and settle properly. Not quite. I mean, they tried. It could be because of the friggin'. It could be because I'm all cockeyed too. Like the whole friggin' base is cockeyed. Fucker. Did I get it? I think I got the door closed. I got the door closed, okay. So yeah, the floats are all everything's cockeyed. The float should draw down into these slots here. But everything's so cockeyed. Oh. Well, they kind of slotted in that time. Kinda. Better than they were. Oh, where's my positioning? That's what I need to look at. How am I positioned? Oh, I am fairly in the middle. Okay. I am fairly in the middle. So let's let our anchors out. Bring us back to the damn surface here. So we at least get back to being level. Okay. It's still reeling in. Oh, the floaters, or the bobbers from the float. Okay. Now all we have to do is hook up the sea base. Stop it. Now we got to do is hook up the sea base to the platform. Yeah, these guys were winching in. The weight balls. I put those on. I put these guys on because what would happen is this thing would start going, like once it was released, it would start going up, and then the damn thing would flip upside down because it was top heavy. Because it's got it has the mast on the top, solar panels on the, so it'd flip upside down. So what I needed to do was put weights on the corners that would lower as the as the platform was let out, I needed the weights to lower, so it would basically keep it upside right, and make sure that it couldn't go upside down. All right, so let's grab our. You know what? I'm gonna use. We have corner ropes. That's what these ropes are actually for. Ropes that are on the corners here. These are actually for hooking up to the winches. So we'll do that. Yeah. Okay. Front of the boat is that way. Ladder of the boat's in the middle. And we got a. Where's the boat? Kinda. That's you to there. That's you to there. This rope. It's our gentleman waiting in bed there. I wish there was a nicer way to actually do this part. To hook up these winches. There really isn't a nice way to do this. I mean, I guess technically I don't even need to unattach them. I just have to let the line out, but then I just have an additional 4 lines in the water for no reason. I guess I could technically have them read the depth of this, and just stay a little bit ahead of it, kind of like an automated. You know, have them run in an automated mode where they let out just enough. They let out just enough line so that it's not pulling on. Or I could maybe even, you know, have them read the keel depth, and you know, just have them let out that much line. When the ship is, you know, when I'm gonna dive the sea base. Sea base, they should have a. I should have a top hatch going into that too, but I don't think with the floaters there I can't really do that. With the floater system in on the top there, can't really do that. Oh, those are both hooked up. But I should definitely have a. A platform that I can lower to get to the sea base when it's in a raised position. Like when it's lifted out of the water, I should have a platform to get to the door of the sea base. Because right now there's nothing. Right now I don't have anything there. And I really should. Front row. Okay, winches. Let's do this. And these things are too freaking fast too, I think. Yeah, look, hey, they fucking launched the thing. Look at that. These winches are way too fast. So these winches need slowed down quite a bit. God. Let's land this thing. Okay. Down. Wait, are my sea anchors still out? My sea anchors are still out. Fuck. Sea anchors are still attached to the seafloor. Oh. Grab the ladder. Those are going to be a little while. Well, maybe not too long. Is that them there? That can't be them. Oh, I'm upside down. There we go, now I'm upside right. Okay. So where are my sea anchors? They gotta be coming up. Oh! There they are. There they are. There's the sea anchors. They're definitely coming up. Battery, we're at 86. That's another thing. This does not have a glitch system in it. The sea base. There is no glitch power in the sea base. Where are my anchors now? Oh, you guys all the way up? You're all the way up. Okay. All right, sea anchors are up. At least as far as they go. Turn the lights off. Let's run. Ballast tanks are still emptying. That's fine. What are you guys doing? You guys are doing great. Okay. We'll get you guys soon. Soonish. Yeah, I should really have like a platform that goes over the door. Make it as part of the this platform that I raise underneath. Okay, you're down all the way. Let's lock you up. Okay. And where is you? Coming up. Touchdown. Alright. So yeah, I should actually I should make something on this platform here to get me to that door, because there really is no, once it's up on the platform, there's really no way for me to get to that door, because like I have to jump and catch the ladder. That's the only way to get to it, is to jump and catch the ladder. Aha! There is some flooding in here. Oh no, there isn't. It's reading. Yeah, it's reading something else. It's not actually reading water. Okay, so we need to get you guys to the med bay. So if you'll come with me, please, we will get you on board our fine ship. That was nice. Transfer you to our ship med bay. And I missed it. Oh no, I didn't. I caught it. I didn't think I was going to catch that, honestly. Alright, got you. We will lock down our sea base. Everything's shut down. Okay, put you up. And did not make the jump that time. That's fine. So there we go. Actually, I'm going to move you over here to move your buddy. Okay. That was another thing I did. There is supposed to be... Yeah. There's supposed to be a player sensor here, too, to turn these lights on. But for some reason, it ain't here. I installed the lights, did not install the player sensor. Okay, so we are... Oh, and I didn't fix this either. Because I had to remove, when I put the liquid meter in, I had to remove the end cap for the railing, but I never put an end cap in. I just left it. Alright, so now we need to set our course for the nearest med station, which is, I would say, this guy down here. But that is pretty far inshore. Is there one that's closer that's not so far inshore? No, there isn't. So we got to go to this med station here, which means we'll head to North Meter Outpost. So set our waypoint for there, which is 8 kilometers away. That's actually not that bad. We will get our anchors up. So our one anchor is still stuck inside our hull. Is a glitchy McGlitcherson. Oh, for fuck's sakes, I got a glitch drive on this side too? I put a glitch on both sides? I did. Oh my god. That's unnecessary. The sea base doesn't have a glitch. The boat has too. That's hilarious. 2 glitches and 2 reactors. Where the hell are my anchors? I can't see them. Watch for them, but I can't see them. And I don't really want to take off while the anchors are still down because they get trailed behind and then they get tangled up and yeah, on the hull. And then you have a whole mess when you want to actually use them again. So we'll just get our anchors up here. So let's take a quick look at Stormworks here. And while we're waiting on our anchors, this is what Stormworks looks like. As far as this is what you call this is what's called the profiler. So you can see everything that's running, what's using up the most. And you can see right now the scene is basically using up the most for the main, which, you know, that's to be expected. And then when you look at the logic, you can see the S cart there is a fair chunk of the logic. If you look down at physics, you can see physics is kind of it's not maxing out. It's not maxing out, but it's still kind of yeah. So right now, the game's not running too bad. You can see the problem in the logic. The problem in the logic is that purple section. That's known as the render. It's the one that's at the very end there, or close to the very end there. That's the render. I may have accidentally said it was the S cart. It's not the S cart. It's the render. And unfortunately, that is what they chose to run on a single thread. Is the render. So, yeah. So you can see my performance is 24, 23, 22, 24. I run at about 20 something frames per second. No network activity, of course, but the memory, you can see it's used 4.8 gigabyte of memory, which is actually kind of so-so. Kind of so-so. Okay, anchors are up. So, as you can see, I can look around. I can look around and all that stuff. But what happens is, you can see how the door is kind of slow. You can see my movement is kind of slow. You can see if I jump, it's almost like I'm on the moon. Excuse me. That's all part of the render. I should say that's all due to the render. You can see how my boat kind of slow motion hops. It does a slow motion hop before it starts moving. Cruise control on. It does a slow motion hop before it gets moving. That again, because the render. This is one of the only games I know where your computer performance can actually be good. Like, look at, I'm not getting any lag looking around. Like, it's the game's not lagging. The physics of the game is lagging. So like jumping, walking, you know, the boat moving or whatever. It's not actual lag. It's simulated lag. Lag in the simulation itself, which kind of sucks, because I mean, otherwise this would be a fantastic, like, absolutely fantastic game. But just because of that one screw up, where they single threaded the render process, and it's just. The performance is atrocious. The performance of the game is atrocious. Unless you have some major powerhouse of a PC. And I'm talking a PC that can take a single thread and run it as if it's like 8 threads. If you have a machine that can process a single thread at a ridiculously high rate of speed, then you're okay. But for most people out there, the average person's PC, this game is just, it chugs. It's not unplayable, it's just you have to get used to everything being in slow-mo. You have to get used to the game being in slow-mo. You have to get used to turning everything off. If I go into my... I don't know if I can view my game options from here, the custom menu. Because like I said, this is a sandbox mode. Yeah, I can't see anything from here. I can't see anything from here. But the actual game mode that I selected, I basically had to turn all AI off. The regular character AI, so like the just random aircraft that fly around, turned it off. The enemy AI, the AI that starts an enemy base, and they'll have a few enemy vehicles or boats, a few enemy boats, a few enemy airplanes that are flying around the map, whatever. Had to turn it off. I had to turn all that off because the game can't handle it. It can't. The game cannot handle it. Even if you set it to its lowest setting, which doesn't really limit anything, it will spawn over time enough AI vehicles and whatnot, and all of them are live. For some freaking reason, they're all live. So, like, it'll spawn an AI vehicle here, and that AI vehicle, it'll be live. And if I leave this area, say I teleport to the Arctic or whatever, that vehicle will still be here, and it'll still be live. Because they use keep alive blocks on them. As far as I can tell, they have a keep alive block on it. Like, I have a keep alive block on this vehicle. It's right there. You can see that square on the bar. Because I don't want my boat shutting down when I am 100, 200 meters away in the in the sea base on the seafloor. Likewise, my sea base has got a keep alive block somewhere on it. I think it's under here, so it's somewhere in there. I have some controllers and whatever in here, so it's in there somewhere. But it's got a keep alive block as well, and the reason it's got a keep alive block is because I want it to stay awake when it's on the sea floor. I don't want it shutting down or going into like a hibernation mode, whatever, when it's on the sea floor. So I also need to use keep alive blocks on some of my builds for that specific reason. I don't want them shutting down on me. So I understand why their AI boats and all that have keep alive blocks on them. I understand it. The only problem is you built a simulation that cannot handle it. That's my only problem with it. Your simulation can't handle all those AI on the average person's PC. Cannot handle it. It's too slow. It slows the simulation rate down. In fact, a lot of the times after an hour, the game becomes almost unplayable. If you have any of the simulation turned on. I mean, right now I'm at what, 2.5 hours, and there's a definite noticeable difference in my simulation speed versus when I started the game. There's a definite difference. I mean, the boat that I'm using obviously is going to be part of that issue, because the boat that I'm using is a heavy build. This is a heavy build, or classified as a heavy build. It's a heavy physics build. If I was to load this all as one vehicle, the game would have an absolute conniption. it would actually pop up and say that you have loaded a very heavily physics-oriented vessel. Um, so I mean, I load them separately because I don't necessarily always need the sea base. Sometimes I will use the sometimes I'll use this as a rescue boat. I have actually brought this into freighters, close to freighters, and I've towed them. I've attached the freighters to the mooring points on the side here, front and back, and I've actually towed the freighter. There's a couple of there are one or two missions that require you to tow a freighter, and I've used this for that. I also sometimes I'll use the back ones too. I'll just hook up to that one, hook up to that one, but normally I'll hook up to the side ones because it's easier to. I don't know why, but it seems almost easier to tow with this vessel. It seems almost easier to tow if I have the other vessel lashed to the side of it, or underneath. If I can get it underneath, I can't get a freighter underneath. But if I can get something underneath, the only reason I can't get a freighter underneath is because I put these decorative supports. Because I hate when things don't look like they should be able to do what they're doing. So I put in these decorative supports just to make it have the appearance that there's some actual structural integrity here. But again, they're not actually needed. I could just go with the 4 pillars on the corners. Or the 6 pillars, I should say. I could just go with the 6 pillars and say to hell with all these little whatever you want to call it, decorative I don't know, decorative braces, I guess you can call them. I could get rid of those, but I have not. And I actually think my simulation's slowed down a little more here. Yeah, it definitely is. Oh yeah, look at how slow I am now. The simulation's definitely slowing down. We're getting closer to land. We got windmills, wind turbines in view now. I'm willing to bet our render's just gone for an absolute shit. Oh no. Oh! The physics join? The physics engine is having issues. Look at the physics engine is just chewing it. Wow. And my updates have climbed quite a bit. Yeah. Physics engine is just chewing on it. Wonder what the physics engine is chewing on. The windmill over there? I don't even know. It's not like anything's changed on the boat since we went from over there to over here. We're getting closer to land. That's about the only thing that's changed. Aside from, like I said, we got a wind turbine over there. Oh, we might have we can't tell from a zoomed in view. We might have some NPC boats coming into view. Because I think even if you turn off the NPCs, or even if you turn off the AI, I think there's still some NPC boats that end up kicking around. I don't see any. I don't actually see any. That doesn't mean they're not there. I love this cockpit. It's got a really nice view for such a big ship. And to have the cockpit embedded embedded in the front of the ship. It's not elevated or anything. It's embedded, and I still have a really amazing view because of the way I capped it. I kept it up a little bit instead of lowering it down with where the other rooms are. I kept it elevated a bit. I got view to spare. Like, I can see everything from here. Still not seeing any other boats though. I'm pretty sure there are other boats out there. Not seeing them though. And I highly doubt the wind turbine's the thing that's using up the physics, although that is a pretty big fucking build. That has a massively large rotating section on it. So you never know. You know what? With this game, I would not be surprised if it was that wind turbine that's chewing through all the physics, engine or whatever you want to call it, physics processing. That would not surprise me in the least. Because I very highly doubt they optimized any of that. That propeller blade, you can impact that. Like if you had a helicopter or something flew over there, that could actually impact you. So it's probably calculating the entire physics array along those rotating blades. So I'm willing to bet that's chewing up a shit ton of resources right now. Not that it isn't cool. It's definitely cool. It's just there are some things that do not need. There are some things that do not need physics processing, and that's one of them. Put a hitbox, create a hitbox, and leave it at that. Create a hitbox around it and just leave it at that. Something hits the hitbox, then you calculate physics. Oh, there's my vents for flooding and draining of the what the heck's that? Oh, that's the fluid sensor. It just didn't color it. Oh, I know why I left it like that, so I could actually yeah. That was during testing. I painted it orange so I could tell where it was, so I could walk up to it and use the command. Because if you hover over something, when you're looking at something, if you hover over it and hold page up, it'll show you all the information to do with that display or with that object. So it'll show you all the details of that object. And that's a way that if you create an enclosed space, and you want to know the volume of that space, you put a fluid sensor. And then instead of reading the fluid sensor, you don't need to read the fluid sensor. Oh, I got the display running. That'll eat up some physics. So where was I going with that? Where's I going with that? Come on, brain. I lost my train of thought now. Oh, yeah. So if you go to you make a container and say you want a display on it to show how full it is. You plop a fluid sensor on there, and then you walk up to the fluid sensor. Like after you spawn the vehicle, you walk up to the fluid sensor, you hold page up, and it'll tell you one of those lines there will say what the fluid volume is, like how much it can hold. So then you just go back to your display, so like a display like this, and you change the top number You change your maximum number to be whatever the number of your, whatever the fill capacity of your tank was. And now you have a full to empty gauge. You set the first number at 0. You set the last number at whatever your fill gauge, like however your fill gauge is. And then that's it. That's it. Bob's your uncle. So like for example here, the steam pressure maxes out at 10. Well, I mean, it can go higher, but it's going to explode before it gets higher. But it maxes out at 10, so I set this gauge from 0 to 10. And same with this. The boiler doesn't really go any higher than 150, 160, 170. But I wanted to give a little leeway in case something goes wrong, so I made it so the gauge reads, I believe, to 200. I believe the gauge reads up to 200. And the same with this one. I knew power generation, I was never going to have, 2,000 to 3,000 power generation, so I believe I set the max on this to 1,500. Because I knew I was going to be about 1,000 to, maybe it's 1,200. It might be at 1,200. I knew I was going to be somewhere in the range of 1,000, so this gauge I set to about 1,200, whatever. But if it's a fluid volume, so it's like a gas tank or something like that, you want to set it to whatever the tank capacity is, and that's how you find out. You create a fluid sensor, which is what that is, and that reads how much it actually reads two things. It reads, number one, it reads how much it can hold, and number two, it reads how much is actually in it. So you can use both of those numbers. The how much is in it is what you're going to attach to your gauge, and the how much it can hold is what you're going to set your maximum number on your gauge. So that way you have 0 is empty, and then whatever that other number is full for your display, for your gauge. And I did that in other ways too. For example, this system here, I made a controller that reads. There's actually the controller right there. I made a controller that reads, what's the fluid level in this room, and it reads it from that fluid sensor that was on the floor. And I believe if the fluid never goes below 0, or it never goes to 0, I should say. It always goes to 5, 10, something like that, because that's as low as the actual gauge reads. So I set it so that when it reads the gauge is at 10, that's when it determines there's no fluid left in there, and you get a green light. It changes the red light to a green light, which it does use the RGB the RGB light. You can see the green light there. It does that using the RGB light. So that light, if it's reading 10 or below, that light goes green. If it's reading above 10, that light goes red. When the light's red, it also turns on the pumps. You can see that little controller right there. So if there's more than 10 liters of whatever fluid in that doorway, the pumps kick on and push it out. There's the exit ports. So it'll turn on, it'll pump it out, and you can see it pumps from both sides. It pumps from this side, which comes up to here, and then the other side pumps from the other side. This is a high-speed pump over here. Pumps from the other side over here, across the top to the same outlet, or the same series of outlets, I should say. So I have some slower pumps over here. Then on this side, I've got a really high-speed pump to pump it out. The high-speed pump, I believe, only kicks in when there is a lot of water in there. If there's only a little water in there,
it switches down and leaves. Or no, sorry, it goes by depth. It goes by depth. If your depth is on the surface or close to the surface, it uses the light pumps. If your depth is below, I think it's 30 feet or 30 meters, whatever. I think if your depth is below 30 meters, and it reads that by the length of rope out of the float. So if the float has let out more than 30 meters, it will use the high pressure pump or the high power pump, because it needs this in order to get the power to pump out the water. Because these little pumps lose their efficiency the deeper you are. So these little guys can't pump at 100 feet below the water. These little guys can't pump. They don't have the power to push the water out. Whereas this guy, who's running on a medium engine, has the torque and the power to get that water out. So you're learning more stuff as we go along here. Oh yeah, I hope you're learning stuff. I hope I'm teaching you while keeping you entertained while we travel. Not exactly sure what we're going to do once we get here, because yeah, this boat's going to be no good once we get to shore. We're going to have alternate travel, which I do have an ambulance. Unfortunately, it only has one bed, and I think only one seat other than that. Maybe it has a couple. I can't remember. My ambulance might have, I think it has a stretcher and maybe a side seat, just like a regular ambulance would, but I don't remember completely. Where are we going? Where the hell are we? Oh god, we still have a little ways to go. So the reason I went to the North Meyer Outpost here is because I think there's a spawn thing here. I think there's a vehicle spawn thing here. You can purchase the property, which, you know, I don't even know. Hold on. I'm in unlock all properties. I'm in a sandbox mode, so. Oh. No, I don't think. Well, I don't think there's a. I don't know that there's a thing there. I don't know that there's a craftable thing there. I believe there's one here for vehicles. Not boats, vehicles. It's, like I said, I'm in a sandbox mode, so I don't pay for my vehicles, which means I can just clean them up. When you're in a creative mode, there's a little more to it than that. Or when you're in career mode, I should say, there's a little more to it than that. You can't clean up your vehicles. Although you can, depending on your sandbox mode, like or depending on your survival mode. My survival mode is money limited. I want to see how much money I can make. Everything else is kind of, I wouldn't say unlimited. My builds are limited because the builds cost money. So I have to be very careful with how I treat my builds. That said, you know, I have it set so I can teleport around. I don't have to. I don't necessarily have to travel everywhere. If I have a vehicle, I have to take the vehicle. I can't teleport my vehicle, other than back to the workbench. I can teleport the vehicles back to the workbench, and that's what I'm kind of getting at. So instead of going clean up vehicle, which basically just deletes the vehicle. And you don't get anything back if you just delete the vehicle. So instead of just deleting the vehicle by cleaning it up, what I end up doing is taking it back to the workbench, and then, you know, close out of the workbench, which deletes the vehicle but gives you back the resources for the vehicle, like the money that you spent on the vehicle. So there are not gonna say limits to the survival mode. There are definitely things like I have to earn my money. I can't, like I would not right now be able to spawn this in my survival mode, because my survival mode, I couldn't afford this. This is, I think just the platform itself is $500,000, and I think the sea base is another $500,000 at least. So yeah, I'd be like a full million, maybe 1.5 for this whole build. And I think in survival mode, I think I just got up to 300,000. I think I just got to 300,000. Because you only really make 4,000 per mission. Like each mission is like 4,000 or 3,000 here, 4,000 there. I find the cargo missions are a lot better, especially as I was mentioning with the trains, which I am going to do a video on that. I'm going to do a video on the trains and probably do a train run. I'll probably do a run with the train. Load up some cargo and take it somewhere, just to demonstrate it. You know what? I will do a video on that. I'll do a video on that. I'll do that after this video. I'm home sick today, due to some new medication, unfortunately, which kind of has my stomach tied in knots, as well as some other things you don't need to know. But yeah, so I will probably do another video after this one. I don't know when I'm going to upload them, because I do need to do editing and stuff like that before I upload this stuff. So, but I will at least try to record that, and then hopefully get it online at some point in time. My gaming crew right now is, excuse me, Season 8 of Diablo just hit, so we're pretty heavy into the Diablo season right now, which means spare time when I'm not at work, and when I'm not doing what I need to do as part of life. Spare time is kind of at a premium right now. So we've got Diablo Season 8 for our gaming time, and then basically outside of the gaming time, it's just like regular life shit, grocery shopping, laundry, all that good stuff. And then work. Besides that, work. So thankfully, I shouldn't say thankfully, I don't like being off work. I hate being off work because the paychecks suck when you're not working. But or when you take a day off. Like way back when I was a kid, I didn't mind having a day off here and there, because it was kind of like, you get a day off, it didn't make a huge difference on your paycheck. It really didn't, because you didn't make a lot. When you're only making $5 an hour, $10 an hour, you're losing a day at work. You're only losing between 50 to 100 bucks. That's all you're losing, 50 to 100 bucks. Which, I mean, that's a lot. It is a lot. I'm not gonna say it's not a lot. 50 to 100 bucks is definitely a lot. But it's not like now when I have a full-blown career, when I have a full-blown career that pays well, and I actually make decent money at, and you miss a day of work, and it's kind of like, well, there goes, $300 down the drain, $400 down the drain, which, again, that's a hell of a lot of money. I mean, you lose most of it in taxes when you make your big paycheck. You lose a whole grand to friggin' taxes, which kind of sucks, because you look at your paycheck and you go, wow, my paycheck, I made $3,000, and then you look at how much actually went into your bank account, and you're like, shit. So, you know, there's that whole situation. Um, but it's just when you have a really good job, and I do have a really good job. I absolutely I love my job. I do. I really do. I'm a mechanic. I work for Toyota, and I absolutely love my job. Um, but you know, there's times where you have to miss a day. You don't have any other choice. And when you miss that day, oh my god, it sucks. It sucks. The paycheck just frickin' brutal. So, I don't like missing days off work. Unfortunately, today I had to. I couldn't not. My stomach is just in no condition to. In fact, I'm even queasy just sitting here. Thankfully, I'm not having the problems I was having this morning when I got up. Which, I mean, I wasn't even able to leave the washroom then. Not to get into too much detail. Not to get into too much detail. Let's just say it was a shitty morning, pun intended. But yeah, it's just my stomach's still a little, you know, into that. Very discomfort, very much discomfort stage. And I mean, you get to a point where it's kind of like, you know, is my stomach inside out, or am I just hungry? Because it could be both. It could just be hunger. Don't know. It could just be hunger. I'm thinking it's a little more than just hunger, but I mean, it could just be hunger. In fact, I'm definitely thinking it's a little more than just hunger. But I'm not gonna eat anything because, you know, I learned that lesson. I'm using my side thrusters right now. You can see the, well, you can see the bubbles. They're sort of coming from this. There you go. I'm using my side thrusters right now to push me into the dock. I don't think there is anywhere to tie up, to actually tie up here. I don't see any tie-ups. So I'm just using my thrusters here to push my boat into the dock sideways here, and then I'll drop my anchors. And that, folks, is why my anchors are on the inside of the pontoons, not the outside. I don't want my anchors getting stuck on the dock. When I pull up beside something, I want to be able to put down my anchors without them getting stuck on everything. So I'm using my side thrusters right now to push the boat into the dock. Normally this would go faster, but I'm pretty sure the physics is just having a conniption right now. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at the physics. PHY join. Just chewing through the process. Okay, so we're up against the dock. I'm gonna keep my thrusters going, and I'm gonna lower my anchors. Which should be going down? They're not going down. Why are you not going down? Oh, there they go. Okay. So lower my anchors while I'm pushing against the dock. That should, hopefully, keep me up against the dock. Look at the friggin' slope here. Look at that. Holy crow. That is a drop off. Wait until my front Okay, front magnet's got, side magnet's got, those magnets are caught. Okay, let's shut her down. We'll shut down the thrust. Alright. We are docked for all intents and purposes. Now, I believe I'm gonna have to jump to the platform. So let's get our dudes here. I believe we're gonna have to jump to the platform. So you know what? I'm gonna put you down right now. Get your buddy. I don't know if you guys are still to the point where you're gonna get incapacitated on me. I hope not. I hope your health is stabilized now. Sometimes you'll have these characters. Occasionally, what'll happen is you put them in a bed, they heal all up, and then the second they leave the bed, their health starts dropping again. And I did not put a... No, I did not. Oh, yes I did. I was gonna say, I didn't put a way to... Okay, follow me. I'm just gonna walk right off this ledge. Can you do that? You did it. Awesome. Okay. So now that we have these guys off the boat, I'm gonna get rid of the boat. Because look at all those... look at all those. So if I click on that, I can clean up vehicle. You'll see the vehicle vanishes, but it's still got the thing there. Clean up vehicle. And then that's gone. Okay. So now, hopefully, the game's going to run a little smoother. And not too bad. So if I go into here and clean it up further, if I go and clean all vehicles, so if there's any NPC vehicles in the area, that will also clean them up. And look at how much better I'm moving now. I'm not slow-mo jumping anymore. Physics is not having a conniption anymore. At least I don't think it is. No, look at the difference. Look at the idle. I actually have somewhere between 5 and 8 idle. Okay. Do we have a crafting bench here? We have a crafting bench. Not of it. Oh, sorry. Oh, you see, his health is going to start to go down. This guy's health is fine. The other guy's health is going to start to go down. So, let us load up my ambulance. That's the fire truck. Again, like I said, I use the same platform for multiple builds. So there's the fire truck. When I get to the ambulance, you're going to see the ambulance that's a missile truck. So again, same platform. When I get to the ambulance, you're going to see that the ambulance is... that's the ambulance. Where's the glitch ambulance? Did I not make a glitch ambulance? Glitch fire truck. I'm sure I made a glitch ambulance. Ambulance! There it is. So to get to the ambulance, it's the same as the fire truck. Oh, it does have 2 seats. Nice. It's got 2 seats in the bed. Oh, and it has a side seat too. Awesome. Okay, so we're good. So I will load in the glitch ambulance. Ambulance. We'll spawn it. Okay. Now, you, Mr. I want to continue to die, are going in the back here. Where's the button? There it is. I shove you in the back. Okay. Why is there no lights on? I'll pick you up and I'll put you in here. Put you in. Wait. Passenger seat. Close the door. In the driver's seat. Okay. There we go. Oi! Interior lights. That's what I needed. Good God. Okay, so we're all set now. We're good to go. We got brakes. We got handbrakes, parking brakes. We got all kinds of brakes. Emergency lights, interior lights. Um, yeah. So, and four is the parking brake. So we need to go to, where do we need to go to? The hospital right here. So set a waypoint for the hospital. Take our parking brake off and let's go. Oh, what the hell? Let's turn on our emergency lights. Woo woo woo. I don't get to use this vehicle a lot, so I might as well have fun with it. Steering is definitely unstable. Oh, we're here already. I got backup lights on it too. Oh, this is the vehicle that I actually made that for. Okay. We are at the hospital. Hi, everybody! Oh, shit! I didn't even have the generator on. Alright, now we're good. So you see my glitch generator, you can see the gauge. It goes up to 1.5. When it drops down to 1 million, goes up to 1.5, and then drops back down to 1 million, and then back up to 1.5. So it's all set for that. All right. No, I don't want to pick you up. I was trying to press the button. There we go. Oh, at the back. You come with me. Outside. All right. We're here. We're here. We're here. See, that would have been 3,000 there. And this other guy's probably 3,000. I'm willing to bet. 2,985. I didn't get 3,000 because, I don't know, is he injured? He's not injured. For some reason. Weird. Anyway, so that's that's basically it. That's we took our sea base out. I do have to make some modifications to that sea base, of course, because there's the new oxygen systems, which I haven't worked out yet. I'm going to take this vehicle back to the workbench just so I can look at the workbench here. So, let's go new. So I haven't messed around with these yet, but I do know there's some new fluid stuff. Well, not necessarily new. It's been here a while. I just haven't messed with it. So you have the electrolyzer here, which separates water into hydrogen and oxygen. Submerge the electrodes into a volume of water and provide electric to separate the fresh water. So you can see it's got outputs. So you submerge it in water and it has outputs on it. Let's take a look at those outputs. Let's get some pipe here. Okay, there's only two outputs. So the outputs are probably hydrogen and oxygen. We got hydrogen out, oxygen out. Okay, and they are labeled. Okay, so all we would actually have to do is put this in a tank of some kind, like a water tank. Yeah, I'm guessing that's all you have to do. So you'd have your electrolyzer. I'm gonna actually flip it. So you'd have your electrolyzer in, say, a tank. So let's say this is let's do up a really quick thing here. Or I should probably do another. I should probably do this in another video, but I'm stuck in an ADHD thing right now. You'll have to bear with me. My brain says do it in another video. My
ADHD says do it now. So you'd have a tank. You'd have some kind of water tank. So I'm just gonna quickly mock one up here. So we'll say this is our water tank. And okay, closing the bottom. Closing the bottom. Okay, so there's our water tank. We're gonna pump water into it, probably from the sea. I'm guessing. Okay, and then out the top we have our hydrogen and we have our oxygen. So what we would do is we would have our oxygen come out, and I would probably use, like, I don't know, green maybe? We'd have our oxygen come out, and we would flow it to, say, a vent. So it would just flow to a vent, and I wouldn't want anything to go backwards. So I'd probably have a flow valve, which I already have all these down here because I use them so often. I probably have a flow valve, and I'd probably just have it venting out. And then on this side, I would have like the hydrogen, and it would come out. And it would come out. So I'm saying this would be my sea base. So the tank probably wouldn't be this big. The water tank probably wouldn't be this big, but the effect is the same. Okay, so this would come out, and this would also have, a one-way, and this would just go out to the sea, like so. And then you'd of course have your battery. You'd of course have your battery on there, which, whatever. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to. Oh, that's not. No. For this demonstration, we need a glitch. It's because I don't want it to run out of power, and I don't actually know how much power it's going to need. So, where's my glitch? I just recently saved it. There it is. Because I did some changes. I did some changes to the glitch. It needed some changes. Oh, paste. And then we'll merge. That, we'll just put a couple stands under it and merge it to the base. Okay, I want stairs. Care what color they are, but they should get off the pink here so I don't start getting things mixed up. Okay, so I'm gonna want stairs. That. Okay. Logic. Oh, not logic. This. You are on. You are on. Okay. Logic power out. From the generator to the battery. Battery to that. And does that need a trigger? That does need a trigger. Okay, so toggle. Let's put a little toggle button right here. Right up to that. That up to that. Okay, so now we have our electrolyzer. I want a fluid spawner in here. Actually, I'm not going to. Okay, I'm not going to screw with the actual size of the tank. I'm going to leave the tank as is. But I'm going to put a fluid spawner here. Okay, and a liquid meter. Put a liquid meter on here. Okay, because I want to be able to read. I want to be able to see the reading. Then I want to display. Digital display. That up here somewhere. Sure. Change the decimal place, probably there. Actually, one more.
This was disabled. Okay, so that's our fluid level. We'll hook that up to the backlight. We'll hook that up to number of liters of liquid in the volume. Okay, so that's what we want there. And we'll hook electric up to that. Okay, so now we have seawater. We should have seawater. That would have been bad. Okay, so we'll have seawater in there, and we'll be able to watch the oxygen and hydrogen come out. Actually, you know what? Let's set this up a little more test based, shall we say? So the oxygen coming out. That'll be the oxygen coming out. That'll be the hydrogen coming out. Put the vent there, so that way we can just see the levels that are coming out. Okay, glitch is hooked up. Glitch is active, and this should be a good test. All right, so let's spawn this in. This should give us a test of how the hydrogen and oxygen system works. I'm going to set it to daytime so I can see what the hell I'm doing. Okay, so here is our system. So currently we shouldn't have anything moving through these. Nothing. Okay. The glitch should be putting out power. It is. Okay. And we have a water tank volume of 11,694. So we'll turn on this button here. It does not look like anything's happening to the water. Does not look like it's doing anything here. What is the electrolyzer doing? It is turned on. Oxygen out, hydrogen out. I'm not seeing anything going on here. So how does this work? Because it has power, it has water, well, it has seawater. Does it have to be desalinated? Does it have to be regular water, like fresh water? And the damn thing's moving on me. So I need to put some pads under it. Because the thing's moving across the floor. Thanks to likely the glitch generator and the speed of its what do you call it? The speed of its turbines, or the speed of its what's the word I'm looking for? Flywheel. The flywheel is probably what's moving the whole damn thing around. Okay, let's see if changing this to fresh water makes a difference. Might need fresh water. Which means first we'll need to desalinize the water before we can do anything with it. So, look at this fucker bouncing. That glitch generator is just fucking glitchy. Alright, so we'll turn it on. Okay, now we can, okay, so it needs fresh water. And we are getting a little bit of oxygen, a little bit of hydrogen. You can see the water's definitely going down. We have 12 coming out of there, we have 5 coming out of there. Okay, so we get twice as much oxygen as we do hydrogen, which is expected because, you know, H2O. But we are getting oxygen. So it does need to be desalinized before, and look at how much water it goes through. It does need to be desalinized before it can be pumped, before it can be created. So do we have a desalinizer? We do. Pipe that slowly converts seawater to fresh water. um, hmm. Is there another way of doing that? I know we have I know we have that for desalinizer, but is there another system? Like, is there another desalinizer?
because they have the fractional, they have the distillation. They have a distillation port, which I would think a distillation port would be able to distill water, right? Meaning you could boil off water to steam to then get back water. Or I should say you could boil off salt water to get steam and then convert that to fresh water. I forgot how this works. I have a distillation tower. I have a distillation tower um, for fuel, but I don't know if that would work for water. But again, I'm getting into stuff here that I probably shouldn't be getting into in this video because this video is long enough as is. So I'm gonna cut it off here. Good test. Good test. We can see it does need fresh water. Um, and we can make oxygen as well as hydrogen. Hydrogen, we could probably use hydrogen as fuel. Um, I don't know if there's a hydrogen engine in here. Um, yeah, I don't know if the engines will run off of hydrogen because I'm pretty sure these engines run off of only diesel because the fuel is a fluid, so I don't think you can run these off of hydrogen. I could be wrong, but I don't think you can. I'll actually, you know what? I'll do a little research between episodes here, and I'll see if the hydrogen can actually be used to power an engine, which can run a generator. Because if I can run a little diesel engine off a generator, if I can run a little diesel engine off a generator, um, then maybe our hydrogen can use that diesel, or can use that. Maybe our come on, brain. Maybe we can put that hydrogen to use, um, and actually double up our production. So we'll produce oxygen for the base, and we'll use the hydrogen to run, well, as well as a little bit of oxygen, of course. We'll use the hydrogen as well as a little bit of oxygen to top up the generators from time to time. We'll just store the hydrogen in a tank. When the tank's full, we'll off vent it, kind of thing. But I'm wondering if we can actually do that. I don't know if we can do that. I'll have to do some research. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. So thank you everybody for watching. This is Jody and signing off. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.